This tiny camera is the Insta360 Go Ultra. I've been using it on a bunch of mountain bike rides to see if it works as a real action cam. And here's what I found. First and foremost, this thing is tiny. It weighs just 53 grams. That's about the same weight as 2 AA batteries or a key fob for your truck. It is roughly the same size as like a Shock Whiz, if you're familiar. And one of my favorite things is there's no screen, there's no menus, there's one button. The simplicity of it is what I like the most. So now you can attach it to this base that does have a screen, that does have menus, and extends the battery life just a little bit. It just clips in magnetically so you can attach and detach. So on the trail, the stabilization is actually really impressive for a tiny camera, and so is the image quality, if we're being honest. It smooths out rough descents, and it doesn't have that like 360 cam too smooth fake look. There's plenty of field of view. It's pretty wide, although in the widest or the action setting, you don't get any tilt correction, or tilt fix is what Insta360 calls it. Essentially, it won't keep your horizon level. So as you dip in and out of corners, the horizon will be turning. So if you punch into just the next setting, Mega, that's just a little bit narrower field of view, and that gives you 10 degrees of tilt fix, which kind of is enough for most corners. It's very watchable. And again, the image quality is solid for something this small. Under the trees and in shadows and in tough light, it can get a little bit crunchy and a little bit grainy and noisy, but for the most part, I can't believe how good the image quality is on this. Light, dark, sun, trees, shade. It does a pretty damn good job. You've also got 4K 60, you've got HDR, and you've got what Insta360 calls pure video, and that's just a low light mode that handles low light conditions a little bit better than the standard video mode. There are a couple of cons. Mounting issues are one of them. It's a little tough to get the camera on you in a good way where you get a good angle. I don't like wearing helmet cams. I want that camera as low to the ground as possible. You could try the helmet. I haven't, and it's just not something I do. But on a chest mount, you can't quite get the angle low enough. You barely see the top of the handlebars, so you don't get that immersive ride feel, like someone's along for the ride with you. And yeah, there is that pendant mount, so you could run this without the bigger screen shell on it. There's just a little pendant that you can wear like a lanyard. It's magnetic. You clip the camera on over your shirt, and that's great. You do get a bit of adjustability with your angle. It's not quite strong enough for really rough rides. I'm worried about the camera falling off the entire time, so I do prefer to run it on this, even though the angle's not as great, and you have added weight and complexity. And then the other con that I see is the battery life, and this does not have a removable or replaceable rechargeable battery. So if the battery dies, you can't just pull it out, plop a new one in, and keep riding. You're kind of done filming for the day. You can only charge it through the charging case. That said, the battery life is okay given how small this camera is, so the battery can't be huge. Insta360 says you get 200 minutes of battery life if you're shooting in 1080. That's in the Action Pod. Without the Action Pod, you're only going to get 70 minutes. In 4K, you get close to like 2/3 of that battery life. So 170 with the pod and an hour without. I think in the real world, it's probably a little bit less than what Insta360 claims, but I think it's still plenty for one ride, especially if you're not just pushing go at the start of that ride and riding the entire time with the camera on. If you're filming highlights, you're filming the good sections, it's going to be plenty of battery to get you through a ride. So, how do I use this camera? For me, it's not my main camera. I think because of the angle limitations, the battery limitations, I do think you can get better image quality with other cameras. I really like this thing still, and I will wear a camera on my chest for filming like the main stuff, and then I will just throw the tiny little pod into my pocket, and I will film all the in-between moments that kind of complete the bigger picture or the bigger story with this guy. It's super fun. I've been really into storytelling lately, and this little camera has been fun to explore that, to complete the story with the little snippets between the riding that just takes your story from bland, boring, mediocre to next level, where it's a little more engaging and fun. And the best part about it is because it's so small and so simple, it doesn't get in the way. It's not extra stress or extra complication. Just throw it in your pocket, pull it out when you want, easy peasy. Overall, I think the camera's great. I think for some folks it could be their main ride camera. I'm trying to publish a professional-ish looking video on YouTube in 4K. So for me, it might not be my main camera, but for a lot of folks, for social media, for Instagram, TikTok, whatever, it's gonna do a great job. So who is this camera for? If you want a camera that just disappears in your pocket, it's tiny, it's light, but still gets you that good POV and lifestyle and storytelling clips, I think the Insta360 Go Ultra is a great option. I don't think it would replace my GoPro, my Insta360 Ace, or X5. I think it's a great supplement to those cameras. Hope you liked this. I love camera stuff. I love storytelling. So if you want to see more of this type of content on our mountain bike channel, let me know, because that'd be fun for me to combine my two favorite things. So we'll see you next time.